coming out. The CCO rap album. It's just poop, 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 poop.
Just start.
Hey, this is the Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 109. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan. Today we're going to continue the arc of the lovable loser with another deck that has butt in its title. Now hit our theme song! Hey Ryan, we're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What's going down?
Whole ton is going down. We're at episode 3 of X in the arc of the lovable losers. We're talking about a theoretical deck that you're probably going to build right away, but haven't yet. And it's another deck that has butt in its title.
Or blood.
Basically the same thing.
Do not Google that.
Under any circumstances.
Definitely not.
No.
Terrible way to start the show.
That was a great way to start the show, with a laugh and a public service announcement.
I suppose. Commandy today.
Garna the Buttflame.
Yeah, Garna ate too much hot sauce.
Yeah, that'd be a sweet altar, actually.
Yeah.
There's just flames coming out of her butt, and all these other guys behind her going like, oh my god!
Oh, their heads are on fire. Garna the Bloodflame's fist is on fire. I don't know why. Like,
it doesn't make no sense. Is she a con? Like, where is she from?
Dominaria.
She's a Dominaria card? But
Is he or she magical? Like, is their fist on fire because they fisted somebody else who had too much hot sauce? Did they light their hand on fire? Like, you know how Blackbeard, the pirate, used to light his body on fire? Or like from his smoking beard, he'd light these sticks that smoke to surround himself in smoke when he fought.
Huh.
I don't know what's happening in this art.
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure either. It looks like some cons person, and they're the worst. They got a big axe. Whatever. It's a 3/3 with flash for black, red, 3. When she enters the battlefield, you put all creatures that were put into your graveyard this turn into your hand.
From anywhere.
From anywhere.
Now, what's the other thing that it does?
Other creatures you control have haste.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's less relevant than the get them back into your hand thing, but she got flash. So it's like...
Cool.
She's actually good if, like, post-wrath, you just get all your creatures back that died.
Yeah.
That's, like, also auxiliary to how we're actually using her.
Excellent. Now should we talk about a whole bunch of other stuff?
Agreed.
Excellent. Let's start as we are wont to do with the social media coordinates. We are CCOPodcast and CCO Brando on Twitter and tapped.net. That's where you can see this week's list, last week's list, next week's list, and any other list that we talk about throughout the course of the show. We're commandercookout@gmail.com. That's where you can send us love mail, hate mail, show suggestions, lovable losers you'd like to see us do for the rest of the arc. No nudes?
No. Considering what the show's been about this far, don't send us nudes.
Agreed. You can also find us wherever you get your podcasts. That's your iTunes, your Google Play, your Google Machine, your Podomatic, your Spotify, all those places like that. You can find us on edhrec.com, also flipsidegaming.com, where you can use CCO promo code CCOFU to get 10% off your entire order store-wide. Or if you missed all of that, or because I mumbled my words too much, you can check out the full list of social media coordinates over at our official home on the entire internet, CommanderCookout.com. That was terrible. I'm going to try that again. .com.
Yeah.
I like that better.
Yeah, get your 8,000 copies of Garna the Bloodflame from Flipside Gaming, because they're about to skyrocket after this list, baby.
Oh, 100%. Yikes.
Get your 10% off your 10-cent card. Save 1 cent, but if you buy 100 copies, you can buy me a coffee if you see me at MF in Calgary. So just to thank me for the sound MTG Finance advice. Sorry, the sound hashtag MTG Finance advice.
Oh, now are we those people?
Oh, yeah, let's go jump out the window.
Yeah, worst.
No, just kidding. We like those guys.
F you, Joel.
Yeah. I helped him sort some cards last week night.
Yeah?
On Thursday.
Sure.
Man, that guy, he's got some cards, I'm telling you. We found a bunch of stuff from Legends in the Dark, including like, oh, dude, it looked like somebody took a belt sander to a Legends Sylvan library. we found it, and I was like, is this like half a card still? Like, what is this? It's awesome. We found some good stuff. Lots of stuff from from Mirage block to Onslaught block, just like all of that.
Wow.
So, yeah, there's some good stuff in there. Urza block, Tempest block. Mask block.
Mask block, baby. You should probably trade some of those to me.
Yeah, super fun. Okay, what else we got going on here? You mentioned Patreon. We've got a patron sign-up gift for this arc of Lovable Losers.
Yeah, you're giving away St. Patrick's Day themed arcs. Or not arcs, cards.
Yeah. St. Patrick's Day will be over by the time you read this, but a St. Patrick's Day funny card altar or token altar, always in style. I'm telling you. What did we say a couple of weeks ago? If it's on the front of a Lucky Charms box, it could potentially be painted onto a Magic card.
Excellent.
Yeah. It's funny. All my leprechauns with their green suits end up just looking like pimps.
Well,
green suit and gold button with a green top hat.
The thing with leprechauns is if they weren't like short and killing people with a pogo stick, they are just pimps.
Well, get your pimp altars from me then, I guess, right? Yeah. None of them are going to be available for auction on the Commander Cookout Facebook page.
Oh my.
Yeah, there was 1 week where I did it, so our non-patrons could have a chance at getting some, but now your only opportunity is to become a patron. Speaking of which, we've got we had fun today on the CCO pre-show for our patrons. We talked about we did a sweet trade. I got this Rakdos Lord of Riots.
Yeah, from the guild kit.
The alternate art, full art one. This one looks badass. You got those big demon-y looking wings.
It's pretty cool. It's totally dope.
Yeah, totally dope. I was going to buy the guild pack, but didn't because I only wanted this card. So now I got it. Super sweet. Final thing. Deck giveaway. If you listen to episode 162 of Commander's Brew podcast, we are teaming up with them. Up. With them. And we are giving away a Alicia Who Smiles at Death deck.
Excellent.
You can check them out April 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for their launch of Battle of the Brews. We weren't allowed to talk about it 2 weeks ago, but now we are.
Yes.
And
it has nothing to do with beer, which makes me sad.
No, but you know what? If they ever invite us on the show, they live on the other side of the country.
Yeah, it's a long way, and it's expensive to fly in Canada. I could fly to actually fly to Mexico.
I was just going to say we could actually fly to Mexico.
We could fly to Mexico, stay in Mexico for a week, get drunk, eat, fly back for the cost of a plane ticket to Toronto.
All inclusive, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have to pay for beer. So if we were to go and be on Battle of the Brews, we could totally beat those guys up.
Absolutely.
I would totally backstab so hard too.
Yeah, I would front stab. That's how I live my life. But
you could front stab, I could backstab. It's like we're DPing with knives.
Nice.
Oh God,
don't Google that. No.
Anyways, check them out. If you want to win that deck, though, episode 162 of Commander's Brew, that deck, you can head over to Commander's Brew giveaway page and peep all the ways to follow us or all the ways to win.
Yes, there's lots of them.
A follow on Facebook, a comment on our YouTube channel, a subscription to our YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff.
Yes. Follow us, help us grow the show, and we will enter you in to win a super cool deck.
Yeah, it is actually super cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Speaking of super cool decks.
We have one for them today.
Oh, dude, I am super excited for this one.
I'm excited about how excited you are. I forgot to look at the list before we came in today. So
You're the worst. That is grade A quality preparation from your boys at CCOPodcast.
Yeah, we're total, Ryan's already, he's got notes, he's got all the stuff, he's super pumped, he knows the combos, he knows the interactions, he knows everything. I don't know shit. So I'm just gonna follow along just like you guys.
Excellent.
It's gonna be awesome. Should we start?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna start with creatures as we are wont to do. Typically we do them in alphabetical order, but this time, as last week, we were gonna switch it up and then I faked it out and we didn't. Now we are going to switch it out and I'm going to do it by rows and columns. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Here we go. Archfiend of Epiphany.
Just wait. Rows and columns, like you're going to go across the row, then down to the next column, then across the row, then down to the next column?
No, the other way. I'm going to go down the column and then over to the next row and then up the thing. It's going to be awesome.
Okay, I was going to say, that's exactly alphabetical order if you do it the way that I said. Okay, Archfiend of Epiphany. 5-drop, 5/4, flyer. If you cycle or discard another card, put a -1 counter on each creature your opponents control. Cycles for 2.
Excellent.
Cycling is you pay the cost, discard the card, draw a card.
How about Disciple of Malice?
1/2, pro white, protection from white for 2. Cycles for 2. Whoa. Continue.
Horror of the Broken Lands.
Wow. I never actually read the name of that card. It just cycles for a black.
And it's a 4/4 for 5. Whenever you cycle or discard another card, Horror of the Broken Lands gets +2/+1 till end of turn.
Sure. It's
right.
going to be cycled mostly.
How about Lurching Rot Beast?
4/2 for 4, cycles for black. Full stop.
Monstrous Carabid.
4/4 for 5, can attack each turn if able, or attacks each turn if able. Cycles for black or red hybrid.
How about Ridge Ranit?
6/4 for 7. There's a Crawworm's little shitty brother.
Yeah.
Cycles for 2.
Twisted Abomination.
5/3 for 6. Regenerates for a black. Swamp cycles for 2. So this is a little bit different. Pay 2, discard it, search your library for a swamp, put it into your hand. Sure.
It's kind of what this deck is so far.
You're still discard a swamp?
No, a Twisted Abomination.
Yeah. The point is you're still discarding it. It's still a creature. You're still getting something back for it.
Nice. This is a card I really like. Viscera Dragger.
Yeah, so this is a 3/3 for 4, cycles for 2, unearths for black 1. So unearth is if it's in your graveyard, you play black 1, and you get it back into play, it gains haste, and at the end of turn, you exile it.
Cool. How about Wasteland Scorpion?
Ooh, you're snaking back up?
Yeah.
Wow. 2/2, death touch for 3, cycles for 2.
Undead Gladiator.
This is a real card. This card's good. 3/1 for black 1, cycles for black 1, but also black 1, discard a card, any card.
Neat.
Probably a creature. Because it's just like cycling, because when you do that, you turn Undead Gladiator from your graveyard to your hand. So you black 1, discard a card, just like you were cycling for black 1.
Sure.
But the card you draw is always Undead Gladiator, which you can again cycle to draw another card. So you're getting more creatures into your graveyard.
I dig that.
And if the creature you drew from cycling Undead Gladiator is another creature, you can just discard that creature or that card, whatever it is, to get your Undead Gladiator back.
Cool.
You can only do that ability during your upkeep, but you can cycle it whenever.
Neat. How about Ruthless Sniper?
Ooh, this is a 1/2 for 1. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1. If you do, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. So this acts as a little bit of a removal spell because we have such a redundancy at the cycling slot.
Neat. How about Netherborn Phalanx?
This acts as either a tutor or a win condition, and it tutors for our thing that makes it a win condition. This is such a unique card. I didn't even know if I knew that this card exists. So it's a 2/4 for black 5. Holy Jesus, that sucks.
That sucks a lot.
It's got transmute. So when you transmute, you go black 1. You discard the card, so you still get your discard triggers from things. You search your library for a card with the same converted mana cost as Netherborn Phalanx, which is 6, and you put it into your hand. So at this point, Netherborn Phalanx is in your graveyard, and you have a 6-drop card in your hand. We're going to talk about that card in a minute. Now, the thing that the card actually does, when it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life for each creature they control.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that. I like where this is going. All right, let's keep moving. We got a Mace Tail Hysterodon?
What in the
Hystrodon?
I think this was errated to a dinosaur, FYI.
Excellent. I probably won't play it in Grimlock.
Probably not. It's a 4/4 for 7. That's probably why.
Yeah, definitely won't play it in Grimlock.
First strike and haste.
Still bad.
Cycling, 3.
Only good, I think, in this deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, how about Igneous Pouncer?
Yeah, 5/1 for 6. God, these are so bad. Haste, though.
Sure.
Sure. Swamp cycling 2, mountain cycling 2.
So you get a swamp or a mountain with them.
Yeah, you can't do both of those things because 2 and discard is the cost of cycling.
Dig it.
Yeah.
No, I'm only going to be able to ask this for like another week. What the hell is happening in this picture? It looks like a starry sky and a cloud and like a little fire guy kind of coming out of a laser. Like, what the hell is happening on that?
I think that is the slope of a lower elevation kind of mountain range, like foothills, and that's lava running down, and he's coming out of the lava.
Sure.
Does that kind of makes sense? And then those clouds are like volcanic smoke and ash.
I dig it.
I think
Okay,
that's my interpretation of that.
That could 100% be what that is.
Okay.
All right, next up we got Chartooth Cougar.
That sounds like the people that I meet at the bar now that I'm in my 30s. Dude. Especially the Char tooth part.
Those are meth tooth cougars.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. If we go to Stab's place under the bridge by your house.
Yeah, I feel like meth tooth is an oxymoron.
They don't have teeth.
Right.
Okay, this is a 4/4 for 6. It's got fire breathing, so you can pay a red to give it +1/+0. Don't care. Mountain cycling 2.
Excellent. All right. Let's snake our way back down again. We got Desert Caradon.
Dessert Caradon.
Ooh, like a cake.
Yeah, his head looks like a cake.
Kinda does.
I don't know. He's
Kinda
a
does.
6/4 for 6, cycling red.
Why are all of the cycling creatures, why do they cost so goddamn much? It's like they print them into your hand and they print them, they go in your hand. Well, this card super sucks, so I'm just going to trade it in for a different one. Why did they do that?
Mostly cycling is designed to smooth out limited gameplay. And the cyclers act as both an early game fix your game, or a late game, hey, this actually, like, I lasted long enough for this to turn into something good. Like a 6/4 in limited is really good because most things in limited top out at 3 power unless you get into the rare or mythic slot, or are very high costed at the common slot, which my removal can deal with your expensive thing. If I didn't cast my cycler, now I have a big guy. Yes. Or sorry, if I didn't cycle my cycler, now I can kill your guy.
This deck is made of draft chaff.
Yeah, that's why it was $29.
Draft chaff like Gigantic Titan or Granitic Titan.
Granitic? I don't even know what granite. I thought it was. Is it just granite? Is it granite?
Granite. No, there's another I there. I don't know what the granite. It doesn't matter.
It's a 5/4 for 6 with menace, and it cycles for 2.
How about Ingot Chewer?
This is not a cycler, but we like this one because we evoke it. So it's a 3/3 for 5. When it enters a battlefield, destroy target artifact. Or you can evoke it for 1, which means you cast it for 1, and then it dies. Sure.
Why don't you play Shriekmaw for the same?
I didn't even think of that, but that's actually good.
Shriekmaw would go in for this on the same principle.
Yeah.
How about Moaning Wall?
It's a 0/5 for 3. Defender, because it's a wall, and it's a zombie. It's not irrelevant to some people, I suppose.
Yeah.
Cycles for 2.
Rad art also.
Yeah.
How about Pitchstone Wall?
Dude, I found this gem like in the backwoods of like southern Kentucky. Like, I don't know if there's woods in Kentucky, and sorry if you live there if that offends you, but I found this card in the bush, buried under some like fallen trees.
I live in Kentucky.
I don't even know.
And there's no woods down here.
Is that a Kentucky
What
accent?
the hell? I don't know. It's like, I've never been to Kentucky. I kind of want to go, though. They have good fried chicken.
As long as it's not coming from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, good point.
Okay.
All right.
Let's read the card.
Let's read the card.
It's a 2/5 wall for 3. Whenever you discard a card from your hand, you may sacrifice Pitchstone Wall. If you do, return the discarded card from your graveyard to your hand. So that acts as like a little mini... I cast Pitchstone Wall just because I needed an X5 blocker.
Sure.
And then later on, when I cycle something, if I want to cycle something twice, I'll just sack my Pitchstone Wall. Or if I want to both transmute and then cast my Netherborn Phalanx, I can transmute it. And remember, I have to discard it, sack my Pitchstone Wall, get it back, then cast it for 6 to make my opponents lose life equal to the creatures they control.
I like that.
Yeah, and then I can transmute it again if I didn't want to cast it. So I can actually search for a 6 CMC card twice with Pitchstone Wall.
Cool.
It acts as a tutor when I have that card.
Ooh. How about Street Wraith?
Street Wraith in Pitchstone Wall lets me... Okay, Street Wraith. 3/4 Swamp Walk for 5, but it cycles for pay 2 life. So I pay 2 life and discard it to draw a card, sack Pitchstone Wall, pay 2 life, discard it, draw a card.
It's good.
Yeah. And then with my commander, you remember you get them back, so I cast my commander. Because I still haven't spent mana this turn. I get the Street Wraith back to my hand, pay 2 life, draw another card.
Neat.
Yeah.
How about Vile Manifestation?
This one could actually be a win condition. So this is 0/4 for 2, cycles for 2, and then Vile Manifestation gets +1/+0 for each card with cycling in your graveyard.
Ooh.
So like every single of the 23 creatures in the deck, except for Garna and Pitchstone Wall. Sorry, so
You're looking like 20 creatures with cycling.
21 creatures with 20 creatures with cycling because Ingot Chewer doesn't have cycling.
All right, let's do some instants and or sorceries. Unlike me, you actually play those kinds of spells. There will be some in the section this week.
Yeah, I just want to say like there's not a whole ton of interaction at the in the creature suite, so we got to get a little bit more out of the rest of our stuff.
All right.
And you know what? Some of it doesn't even some of it doesn't even interact.
Okay, we're going to do the 10 instants. We're going to go in the reverse order of what we just did and start with Starstorm.
Reverse Snake. That is red X, deals X damage to each creature, and cycles for 3.
It's not a bad card. Seething Song.
Yeah. 3 mana, you get 5 red mana.
Expunge.
Expunge. I don't remember what this even does. Okay, so black, 2, instant, destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature. That creature cannot be regenerated. Okay, so it kills a creature.
It's terror.
And it cycles. So it's terror plus 1 mana, but you can cycle it if you didn't need to terror something.
And it's got a cool art of like a missile blowing up an angel. Yeah. It's like a missile shooting an angel in the guts. It's awesome.
That's got to be them Phyrexians shooting missiles at stuff during Urza block, right?
Yeah. How about Dark Bargain?
Dark B. So this is black 3. This is an instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Then it deals 2 damage to you.
Okay.
You get to see 3 cards and you put a creature into your graveyard. That's what you do with that.
And you draw 2 cards. That's Scrap.
3 mana, destroy target artifact. So that is Shatter, but it cycles for 2.
Why don't you play Smash instead?
Does that cycle?
No, but it does the same thing for the same cost and it just draws a card. So you get to destroy an artifact and draw a card. And it's the exact same.
Okay, yeah. See that when I build this deck, maybe that would be something that I would tune into it, right?
Could be a thing. Songs of the Damned. You love this card.
I love this card. So we already have all these creatures in our graveyard. What if somewhere along that cycling chain, turn 5 or 6, when we've cycled like 3 or 4 things, we draw into a Songs of the Damned, 1 black, add a black for each creature in our graveyard. Then all of a sudden we just make 6 more black mana so we can continue to cycle.
Excellent. Keep the chain going. How about, speaking of keeping things going, yeah, Without Weakness.
2 mana. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Not irrelevant.
Could be a thing.
It could be a thing. Cycles for 2.
Cool. Shadow of the Grave.
Oh, baby. Shadow of the Grave right after Songs of the Damned. Return to your hand all cards in your graveyard that you cycled or discarded this turn. So you just get them all back and you can do it all again with your song mana.
And it has a badass art.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Your song mana, your seething song mana, or your other ritual mana that we're going to get to.
Ooh. Rakdos Charm.
This is just straight up good. Okay, so exile all cards in target player's graveyard. Do not target your own graveyard.
Never.
Do not. Or destroy target artifact.
Fine.
Always relevant. Or each creature deals 1 damage to its controller.
Pretty good.
Probably I'm not going to have very many creatures in play, and they're all going to be in my yard. But your deck from last week's you're going to have lots.
Yeah.
So, take 20.
You can toast a creature player or a swarmer or a Krenko list.
Or late game when everybody's at that 10 to 15 life and somebody just does something that puts them over the top or whatever. You just Rakdos Charm, you take 8, then attack you, and 3 of my dudes get through, you die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last one, Cabal Ritual.
Black, 1, you get 3 black to your mana pool. But if you have Threshold,
which you will
because you're discarding your cards, you get 5 black instead. So it turns into a better Seething Song.
Sorcery time. Ambition's Cost.
Draw 3, lose 3 life for 3 mana.
4 mana.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant.
Final Parting.
Now remember, Garna's ability says graveyard from anywhere this turn.
Yes.
So Final Parting is black 3, search your library for 2 cards, put 1 into your hand, the other into your graveyard.
Ooh, I like that.
I put probably a cycler into my graveyard, or a creature of some type, and then I search for maybe 1 of 2 cards that we're going to get to.
Next up, we have Lay Waste.
Destroy target land for 4 mana, or cycle for 2.
Excellent. Read the Bones.
Scry 2, draw 2, lose 2 life, 3 mana.
Tormenting Voice.
This is a neat. This is neat. Red 1. As an additional cost, you discard a card.
Yeah.
A creature.
Chuck whatever, yeah.
Chuck a creature specifically. Yeah. Draw 2 cards. So it cycles itself at the cost of just ditching something, then you draw 2 cards. So it's you cycled something for 1 mana, you cycled Tormenting Voice for 1 mana, then you draw your 2. It's cycle 2 for 2 mana.
This Tormenting Voice, the art actually, is one of my favorite altars you've ever done.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
you did that one where it was like hearts, stars, and horseshoes, clovers, blooms, and like they were all that like really jagged, loud-looking writing.
Yeah, like
all around his
the
head.
Joker, right? Where the Joker's like, ah, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, and dude's looking like he's going nuts. It's awesome. It's like, no more fucking cereal. It's so good. I thought this is Wander to Death, but it's Wander in Death.
It's a 3 mana. Return 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, which is useful in this deck to get that, that Phalanx guy? The one that deals damage to each for each creature you control?
Yes.
You can get that back, or you could cycle it for 2.
And you get your Street Wraith back, pay 2 mana. Draw
Oh,
more
yeah,
cards.
and you can get your Street Wraith back, too, and just draw more cards.
It's pretty good. Twilight's Call.
Now, this is one of the things that you could potentially tutor for with your Final Parting.
And you love this card.
I love this card. So it's black, 4. You can cast it as an instant if you go black, 6.
Yeah.
That's lots, and I probably don't need to in this deck. Although, Garna has Flash. Twilight's Call could have Flash. You could do a lot of this kind of stuff on the end of your opponent's turn and then untap and then like swing for the win.
Yeah.
So what does Twilight's Call do? It returns all creatures from all graveyards to the battlefield.
So you get a bunch of your big jank dudes, and everybody else gets whatever they had.
Yeah, you could go Rakdos Charm into Twilight's Call at the end of somebody's turn, or Rakdos Charm one turn, next turn Twilight's Call, and then attack the guy who didn't have a graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be good.
Garna gives your guys haste too, so if you could do it all in one turn, Garna gives you guys haste.
They just do Garna at the end of their turn, Twilight's Call on your turn. Your guys have haste swing.
Oh, yeah. See, that works too.
Yeah.
Brando plays the Magic's good.
How about Slice and Dice?
Oh, yeah. Deals 4 damage to each creature for 6 mana, or it cycles for 3. When you cycle it, it deals 1 damage to each creature.
I like cards that do that. I think those are
Yeah,
cool.
it's like a mini Wrath or like a little bit bigger, like a Wrath that's going to get mostly everything.
I didn't see Decree of Pain or Decree of Annihilation, so I'm a little disappointed, but we'll see. We haven't got through the whole deck yet. Night's Whisper.
Black 1. Draw 2, lose 2. That's it.
Yeah.
Draw 2, lose 2. It's good.
For 2. Grave Upheaval.
I like this one. So this is a 6 mana. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. Put target creature card from a graveyard.
That's awesome.
Not bad with that Phalanx guy that makes your opponents lose life if they have lots of creatures.
Or you could get like the dinosaur that's in the picture, or the big Hydra thing that's in the picture, or this weird turtle looking thing that's in the picture.
Yeah, and the other thing about this card is it basic land cycles for 2. So you can get a basic mountain or a basic swamp.
For 2. How about Ancient Craving?
4 mana, draw 3, lose 3.
It is Ambition's Cost.
It's the same card.
It's the same card.
Yeah.
Cathartic Reunion.
Yes. As an additional cost to cast, discard 2 cards. Just ditch 2 creatures, and it's red 1. Then you draw 3 cards, so it cycles 3 for red 1.
That's really good in Modern Dredge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last One Standing.
Oh, baby. Battle Bond Wrath. Okay, we never played this card before. Black, red 1. Choose a creature at random. Then destroy the rest.
I love the picture on this card. It's this little
card is
goblin with
good.
like a flaming sword, and he's just standing on top of all these dead people. It's like, yeah, I
win.
won somehow. I don't know how it happened, but I'm here. So good. Razaketh's Right.
So this is another tutor, but it's got cycling. So I'm not sure if I tutor with it or if I cycle with it.
Probably tutor with it.
It costs 5 though. So it's black 3, search for a card, put it into your hand, or cycle for black.
If you're just playing because it says cycle for a black on it, I'm sure you could probably find another creature.
Probably.
Which
But
would
it's a
make
tutor in a pinch.
Which makes your overall win strategy more efficient.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing though. I didn't count it in the spice calculator.
It's a tutor.
It's a tutor.
It's a tutor.
I'm playing 2 other tutors in addition to that card, and I'm still above 50. If we turn that into a cycling creature, I'm still above 50 on the spice calculator, and I'm playing 3 tutors right now.
It's a tutor.
Continue.
Sweltering Suns.
That is 3 damage to each creature for 3 mana, or it cycles for 3. It's another mini Wrath, right? So I don't care if my creatures die. I don't usually have a lot of creatures, so I'll just kill all yours.
How about Violent Impact?
I feel like you like this one.
I do.
I just look like this dude in like this crater.
Somebody just stomped on him real good.
Yeah.
Just left him there.
Destroy target artifact or land for 3 mana. Cycles for 2.
Speaking of dudes getting stomped on, I watched the 2007 King Kong movie last night. It's a good show.
Peter Jackson did it, right?
No, different one. He did the one that was before this one. This one was like, I think it was done by the same guys who did the new Godzilla movie.
Oh.
Either way, it's a cool show.
Sure.
Got way less props than it deserved. It's cool. It's a good one. Enchantments.
Enchanties. We got 3.
We have 3 of them. So I can't do my snake thing. So we're going to just have to do them in a random order instead. Let's do Tin Street Market first.
Tin Street Market acts as like a cycler. Okay, so it's red 4 for an enchant land aura. Enchanted land has tap, discard a card, draw a card. So you're paying a land, you're tapping a land to discard a card to draw a card. So basically it's like if you enchant a mountain, it's like red, cycle anything in your deck.
Faith of the Devoted.
3 mana, whenever you cycle or discard a card, so it works with Tin Street Market. You can pay 1. If you do, each opponent loses 2 and you gain 2 life.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's going to get in, I bet you that gets in 10 to 12 damage per opponent, per game.
That's a good card.
Right, and that's going to gain me 12, 14 life, whatever.
I saved this one for last because I know this one. Lightning Rift.
Yeah, it kind of does the same thing. This one's 2 instead of 3. And whenever you cycle a card specifically, you pay 1. If you do, Lightning Rift deals 2 damage, or 2 damage.
2 damage.
To target creature or player. So this one gets creatures, which is important.
Yep.
But it also is going to get players.
You can bring that guy that's at 2 down to none or 4 or 6 or whatever. You can.
Yeah, just like cycle, pay.
Die.
And like take 6.
Dig it.
Or everybody takes 6 with that Faith card.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some artifacts, starting with Bone Horde.
Yeah, this is like an alternate kind of backup. So it's a living weapon equipment for 4. When it enters the battlefield, you get a germ, a 0/0 germ, and attach the living weapon equipment to it for free. That's what it does.
Those are cool.
It equips for 2 if you want to, if your germ dies or whatever. But equipped creature gets +X, where X is the number of creature cards in all graveyards.
So with what we're doing, pretty strong.
There's lots, there's Wraths, right? And if I swap out that Razaketh's Right for another creature, it gets 1 bigger.
Yeah. How about Fluctuator?
Fluctuator makes this deck hum. This is it. And this is like $5 card. Who cycles stuff, right?
It's $5? Who cycles stuff?
It's 2 mana artifact. Cycling costs up to 2 less to cycle.
Huh.
So all of your stuff that cycles for a colorless or 2 colorless is just a free discard to draw. And you rip through your whole deck until you find your Tin Street Market, and you can find your land to discard so your land can cycle with your Tin Street Market, right? Like that just rips through everything.
Those are all the artifacts you're playing that aren't rocks.
Correct.
Your rocks are as follows: Commander Sphere, Mind Stone, Prismatic Lens, Rakdos, Cluestone, Star Compass, Sol Ring, Rakdos, Locket, Unstable Obelisk.
Did you say Sol Ring?
Sure did.
Okay. Unstable Obelisk is important because it destroys target permanent in red-black.
It does 7 tap, sack it, destroy a permanent.
And Rakdos, Cluestone, and Locket both, and Commander Sphere and Mind Stone all sacrifice to draw cards. So late game, lots of mana. After you've made your mana back out of them, you just sacrifice them to draw, and it helps you dig through your deck.
Because you need help doing that.
It's just redundancy, right?
Redundancy is a thing. And that's it.
That is... it's kind of it. We're playing a Crypt of Agadium, which gives us a black for each black creature in our graveyard.
We're playing all the cycling lands: Canyon Slough, Barren Moor, Desert of the Glorified, Desert of the Fervent. What else is there?
Forgotten Cave,
Polluted Mire, Smoldering Crater, and then everything else is basics or cheap fetches.
Yeah, I played like 1 Evolving Wilds just in case I needed to fetch for like a mountain or a swamp if I was like color screwed, and I got a command tower in there just for the same reason, and I just tried to keep the mana base like super cheap.
Dig it. And one thing I really appreciate about this, now that we've looked at all the cards in it, I really like the flavor of Amonkhet. I know I've talked about this on the show before. I just like all the whole deserty, like scorched world mythos. I really like that. And there's a lot of Amonkhet stuff in here, so that's cool.
Yeah, and then Nikki B came around and just messed the whole place up, so it just looked like the plagues of the Old Testament. Yeah, dude.
Hashtag Dark Sun, if you've ever played D&D.
Is that a thing?
That's where they got virtually everything in Amonkhet from.
Yeah, I mean, they're owned by the same company.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Innistrad was like that. Theros was like that.
Innistrad was Ravenloft. It's the whole thing, even right down to the dragon that comes and destroys everybody on the earth. Nicol Bolas, the dragon. It's a whole thing. Fight me on it. It's true.
I'm down. I'm okay with all this.
Yeah, I'm not exactly hurting about it either. So
hold on. Let's look at some of the little stats that we track for these things. Not including cyclers, we've got 12 instances of card draw.
It's lots in a Rakdos deck.
Yeah, that's like your Cathartic Reunion, your Ambitions Cost, your Tin Street Market, that stuff, right?
Yeah, all your rocks that sack to draw cards.
We've got mass removal, sort of, in those, like, deal 4 to everything.
Sure.
Right? We've got some targeted artifact and creature destruction if we decide not to cycle our cards. And I played the cycling versions of, like, Terror, for example, in that Expunge or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Just to help me rip through my deck if I didn't need to use it.
Why no Decree of Pain?
I didn't cast Decree of Pain because it's so expensive to cast. Decree of Pain should probably be in the deck, though.
It's a pretty good card, I think.
Right?
Maybe not Decree of Annihilation, but Decree of Pain, I think, would
Decree
be a good
of Pain probably draws you 10 cards when you cast it for 8 mana or whatever it is, or kills a bunch of creatures at X2 or less.
Yeah, and draws you a card.
And draws you a card. Like, I should probably play that card.
I think it's a good one.
Yeah. Mana rocks, ramps, rituals, dorks, whatever we want to call it, 12. And I'm counting Fluctuator in there because I want to cycle. And it just makes cycling cost 0.
Yeah.
Right? It's like in your mono red deck, you're counting your like Ruby Medallion as a mana rock.
Yeah.
Because it's going to save you like 2 or 3 mana per turn. That Fluctuator is going to save me like 10 mana a turn. And then cyclers, 35.
Wow. Okay, so real quick, we usually don't do the how to play the deck, but real fast, point form, how does the combo work? Win the game for us.
It's not so much a combo as it is like I'm just being able to redundancy my opponent out and recur my opponent out and continue to get value. But if I was going to find a way to do it, I would probably tutor for Netherborn Phalanx and or get him into my graveyard. Because that is going to, when it enters the battlefield, it's going to make my opponents lose life for each creature they control.
Right.
So probably I could, get this, Final Parting, get Netherborn Phalanx into my graveyard, and find Twilight's Call.
Right.
Get Twilight's Call back into my hand.
Yep.
Or sorry, get Netherborn Phalanx back into play, triggering Netherborn Phalanx to deal damage to everybody equal to all the creatures that they just got back from Twilight's Call.
Right.
You could also cast Garna after transmuting Netherborn Phalanx to get it back, finding Twilight's Call, and then you have an extra tutor to find your Rakdos Charm, which kind of does the same thing as Netherborn Phalanx.
Right.
So you can make people lose life equal to their creatures twice. Right? If they don't have a ton of creatures, I want to mass reanimate, and because my guys have haste with Garna, just beat in. Like, I don't know if you noticed how many cards were 4/4s, 6/4s, 5/4s.
Draft
right?
Chaff. Yeah,
Draft
big.
Chaff is like those commons in draft that cost like 98 mana have 5 or 6 power. And all I need is like 4 or 5 of them to be reanimated and to kill all of your creatures before that. Or if your deck just doesn't have a whole bunch of creatures, just bash in with haste when you didn't expect it.
All right, sneak attack.
Yeah, and I've got some removal in there to keep things out of the way. And overall, I'm just outvaluing you because I don't care if you Wrath, I'm going to get my stuff back, or I'm just going to rip through my deck until I get something back. Then the backup win con is the Bone Horde. Even Bone Horde, like on... what do you get from Bone Horde? Like, is it usually 10? Is it usually 12?
It'd be quite a bit. It's lots. In most cases.
Add a couple, because I'm playing a graveyard deck, right? So maybe it's 12 or 14.
And then you swing in with your Garna and just Voltron them out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you could Voltron them with Garna. Yeah, for sure. I was going to say, though, like, you could tutor or just have Bone Horde. And, like, if you see an opportunity, just kill somebody with Bone Horde, because it's going to deal somewhere between 10 and 20 damage.
It's pretty good.
And people are routinely at 10 to 20 life when they're just playing Commander, right? Like, this deck isn't trying to win on turn 3.
No, these casual, lovable loser decks are not trying to win turn 1, 2, 3, 4.
But yeah, man, I love this deck. Now, why is this deck so cool and so fun sounding, but only has 66 lists? Maybe we start with the weaknesses?
Sure. Can I guess what the first one is?
Yes.
Bajuka Bog?
Yes.
That's the first weakness, right?
A little bit weak to graveyard hate is my note.
Yes.
A little bit.
You have one answer to a Leyline of the Void or a Rest in Peace. And that deck, that card does make it so I don't think you can win.
Yeah, right? Like, you've got your ability to instant speed Twilight's Call. Okay. You've got your unstable Obelisk to destroy target enchantment. There's a couple other ways in like artifacts that you can destroy permanents.
But as soon as you have to start actually casting the cards in this deck because your graveyard's no good, you're screwed.
Yeah, and as soon as you start to take away cyclers, tutors, or rituals that help you rip through your deck, you're diluting what the deck's doing. We talked about that last week, right? Yep. Tana last week was your token producer, and everything else was to supplement that.
Yes.
I need everything that's in this deck. So if somebody's playing anti-graveyard.deck,
Yeah, and most decks will have some kind of graveyard hate. So you do kind of run into a difficulty there.
Yeah.
Most people are playing a Tormund's Crypt or just something to deal with the graveyard because of strategies like this one, which are very, very powerful.
Yeah. And the other thing is it's easy to remove key cards in the strategy, right? Like, I'm not making huge amounts of mana on turns that I'm not casting rituals. So if you take care of my commander, sure, she's got an enter the battlefield ability, but I also need her to give my guys haste. So if she dies and I don't get an attack off, then I got to pay 7 for her next time, then 9.
And that's not good.
It's easy to remove cards like Fluctuator, which is just an artifact.
Yeah, it's a glass cannon is what we call decks like that, where it's very, very powerful, but like it's easily broken.
Dude, I love decks like that though. That's like my jam, I'm telling you.
Because even at the end of the day, your alpha strikes swing in unless it's precipitated by a Wrath, or in the off chance it's precipitated by a Twilight's Call, and I got all my guys back too.
Yeah.
There are decks that are just going to have bigger dudes than you.
Correct.
Like bigger, better dudes than you. And it's like, oh,
and that's kind of my next weakness is there's not a whole ton of very powerful cards. All of the cards work together in a synergistic way to be powerful, but lightning, whatever, cycle it, deal 2 damage. Like, big deal, what's 2 damage? I got to cycle like 20 things.
Yeah, which you're going to do probably, but you've only knocked out one person.
Yeah, then I got to do 80 more damage after that, right?
Yeah.
Right. So moving to the strengths, I think that it's unique.
It is.
There's 66 Garna lists out there, and most of them are going to be doing aristocrats, reanimator type shenanigans. We are cycling. We are cycling to win the game.
We're riding a bike.
And there are
a bike sound, like a
bing,
bell.
Bring, bring. There's a ton of cycling redundancies, which is always a welcome trait for a off-the-wall deck.
It's kind of cool when you do something that's not always done, and there is so much redundancy for it.
Yeah, like if we were trying to do, like, I don't know, whatever, like...
Ooze Tribal.
Ooze Tribal, yeah, that's a good one. Or Dinosaur Tribal, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, you just can't really do it.
Yeah, because there's only so many things that do that. Cycling is an effect that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of the Zata effect.
Yeah.
I need a card to do this, and there just happens to be like 500 cards that cycle.
Neat.
Across all the colors if I wanted to do a 5-color cycling deck.
Which you definitely don't.
Oh, it's going to be next arc. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Arc of the 5-color bad stuff?
Yes.
That would be a hell of an arc.
Next strength, super budget.
Let's take a look at the... TappedOut.net has it listed at $41.94 American, which roughly translated is about $7,263.91 Canadian.
Yeah, so if you're living in the land of the free, or like China, where all these cards are available in counterfeit, you can build this for like lunch money.
Yeah,
and that was after I added up like some expensive cards.
What are the expensive cards? Hang on, let's take a look. So when you say expensive cards, you mean the Fluctuator, which is $6.
Yes, but also Street Wraith.
It's like $3. It's less than a Sol Ring.
Whatever. Seething Song is
$2. Night's Whisper is $2. Crypt of Agadeem's $2. Command Tower is $2. Like the most expensive card in this deck is $6, and it's Fluctuator.
Goes in every cycling deck. Yeah, there's 92 cards that are below $2.
That's fairly significant, I would say.
Yeah. So that's like $42. It's super budget. It's resilient. I know we talked about it bending over to like repeated graveyard hate or like continuous graveyard hate.
Yeah. Or, I mean, one well-timed graveyard hate, I would say.
Yeah.
Because if you go Twilight's Call and then we go...
Response.
Let's just say Rout.
No, not Rout.
Isn't Rout instant speed Wrath of God?
Well, yeah.
Rout, Bajuka Bog. You're done. You're done now.
That was a terrible example.
That's a great example.
You
fill your graveyard with enough stuff to kill all of your dudes.
Oh, you're talking about Twilight's Call not on my turn.
Twilight. Well, no, after you've Twilight's
Let's
Call.
do this whole thing again because that's a terrible example.
If you Twilight's Call, put all of your creatures into play, I kill all of them and remove your graveyard from the game, you have lost the game. And
I agree.
And you can do that with Rout. Because Rout is an instant speed Wrath. So you don't even get to hit somebody after your big Twilight's Call.
Still a terrible example.
It's a great example.
If I go Twilight's Call and somebody goes Rakdos Charm, better example. If I go Twilight's Call and somebody goes activate my...
Well, you want Rakdos Charm. That's part of your win condition.
No, they Rakdos Charm me and remove my graveyard from the game.
Oh, yeah.
They activate their desert that removes my graveyard from the game.
Yeah.
Right? They sacrifice their Tormod's Crypt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, those are even more likely to happen than what I said.
Yeah, that's why they're better examples.
Yeah. Well, if you want to make the deck sound super fragile, I was trying to help you, man.
No, the deck is super fragile.
Yeah.
I'm not beating around the bush. But to that route with no graveyard removal to follow, I can just rebuild.
Yeah.
My creatures are still in my graveyard. That's still where I want them, kind of. I can still get them all back to my hand if I cast my commander again.
Yeah.
So I can rebuild, and that is one of the strengths is I don't care about wraths.
Yeah.
And wraths ultimately are more common than graveyard removal.
Sure.
They are, I think.
Yeah, they probably are. Although they're not present in every deck. Like
wraths?
Yeah. Every deck plays graveyard removal. Not every deck can play a wrath.
I disagree on both parts. Every deck can play wrath.
What's the wrath that hurts this deck in blue?
Cyclonic Rift?
Puts all of your cycling cards back in your hand? Oh yeah, that's super bad for you.
Well, it also puts my Fluctuator back into my hand. When all my guys have haste because Garna.
That actually rebuilds you faster.
Yeah, that's okay, but it prevents me from winning that turn, right?
I guess.
It puts all my mana rocks back into my hand.
But it's not a wrath. It's
evacuation. What is it? Ether Snipe?
How about green?
Green. Green's going to have bigger creatures than me, so I'm probably not going to smash into them. They don't have a wrath per se that gets me because I'm not playing flyers other than like my Archfiend of Epiphany or whatever.
But they do have graveyard hate that's going to get
you. But they do have graveyard hate that's going to get me, right? Yeah. So every color does have a way to stop it. You're right. Last strength. It operates on a strange axis. And
absolutely.
That is what makes it weak. But if somebody just doesn't have that wrath doesn't have that piece of graveyard hate, I'm okay with this. I'm
going to add a quick... I think this is a weakness in the manner that we talk about decks sometimes, where you could, in this deck, have a turn that's effing long and then do nothing. Yeah. You could just whiff or miss something 3 cycles ago that you can't go back to, and you're wasting everybody's time now.
It's the kind of deck that would probably take practice, and when you tutor or when you cycle... When you tutor, you need to know exactly what you need.
Yep.
Or when you cycle, you need to know the exact type of thing that you need to draw to continue.
Yep.
Right? If you don't have that down because you haven't practiced the deck like Goldfish style, probably not the deck for you if you don't have time to practice it.
If you play this deck without practice, this could go from either one of those ones that's like people are watching you because like, oh, this is effing cool. This guy's doing something nobody else is doing. He's cycling cards, he's drawing cards, he's doing all this stuff.
And powerful.
To, I'm playing this with a stranger and it's the first time I've played it. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. To just people just want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
And you want to avoid that. So practice this deck if you want to play it, which I think you probably should because it's neat.
Yeah, you know what? I like things that operate on these funky axes because they allow you to maybe either step outside your magic comfort zone or they allow you to bend your magic mind around something that isn't normal. Like sweepers are good in Commander. Graveyard hate's good in Commander. But if I can move stuff around zones and operate at a weird enough time or on a weird enough axis that they can't touch it, it turns out to be very powerful because I'm either going to get around it or they're not going to have it, and then they're just going to like die.
And there's lots of stuff in this deck that goes back to, I think, why EDH started in the first place, which is you want to play some of these junker cards.
Yeah.
Like you're getting to play all these cards that you would never play in another deck ever.
I'm going to kill you with an Ingus Pouncer by a tax. Like, what is this? Like
what are you doing?
Shards of Alara Limited?
Like, what's wrong? This is one of those decks where the blue player goes, "What are you, bad?" Because you killed them with a bunch of junk cards and they'd have nothing else to say.
Yeah, what are you, bad? Yeah, die. Ingus Pouncer for 5.
Exactly. It's awesome.
That's so good. Okay, strengths and weaknesses. It's got both.
Yes.
Definitely.
They are pronounced on both ends of the spectrum. Doesn't make the deck bad because it's lots of fun, just they're pronounced.
I talked about operating on weird axes and giving yourself time and interaction to do that. Okay, what if, talking about the budget here now.
Budget.
The budget. It's going out the window. We like fast mana.
Sure.
Your Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Grim Monolith.
Ancient Tomb.
Ancient Tomb. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Ancient Tomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even City of Traders. It taps for 2, but when you play a land, you got to sack it.
Yeah.
We could probably get that back.
You could probably get away with it, yeah.
You know what we might want is a Crucible of Worlds, because you can play your City of Traders every turn.
Neat.
Or every second turn. And you can also play land cards that you've cycled from your graveyard.
That would also be good.
That would be okay.
That used to be a deck in Legacy.
Yeah.
I used to play it.
I like Past in Flames, so you can re-ritual.
Also good.
I like Yawgmoth's Will for the same reason. You can cycle your guy and then cast it from your graveyard. No, you can't do that. You could cycle it, draw into your Yawgmoth's Will, then cast stuff from your graveyard.
Yes.
With the rituals that are also in your graveyard.
Also, yes.
Yes. And Alhalmrit's Archive, it's like $25 now.
What?
Yeah. If you would gain life, you gain twice that much life.
If you draw cards, you draw double those cards.
Yeah, so cycle for free with your Fluctuator, draw 2.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the last one I got is bonus round. Red 1 sorcery. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery this turn, you double it.
Ooh.
So when you double your rituals, so you bonus round, you double all your rituals, you Past in Flames, flash them all back, so double them again. So if essentially you've quadrupled all your rituals minus Past in Flames mana.
And you can Comet Storm the whole
You
table.
could even, with your ritual mana, after Past in Flames, you could cast bonus round again, so you can get 6 times your rituals.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you flash them back from Past in Flames out of your graveyard, after you've bonus rounded out of your graveyard, you copy them twice, which is now copying like 3 times total.
It's insane.
So you can make a huge amount of mana and rip through your whole deck, but now you're playing like Yawgmoth's Will, Past in Flames, all these expensive
Ancient
cards.
2, Mana Vault, Mana 2. Now the deck costs $500, and it's still a cycling deck that bends over to a Tormund script.
Yeah, but if you have those cards and you want to try this type of thing, I think this is it.
I think, if you're going to do cycling, this is a good place to start.
Yeah, super awesome. Now, looking at the spice calculator.
Hang on. You forgot about Card of the Week.
Oh, yeah. Dang it. I was rushing into the spice calculator. What do you think?
What do I think? This is your deck, man.
I don't want to say Fluctuator because you don't play it in any other deck except this.
This is a hard one. This is a really hard deck to pick a Card of the Week from.
Now, this is a cool one. We had some major discussion about this. Netherborn Phalanx.
Phalanx?
Phalanx?
That's what I'm going to call him.
Sure. Black, 5, 2/4. He's a horror. Get him for your horror tribal. When he enters the battlefield, each opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Each opponent loses 1 life for each creature they control. And transmute black 1. So you discard him, search for a 6-drop.
So you can find rad commander stuff with him, or you can kill the table with him.
Yeah, and we like him. Like we were saying off air, like everything in the deck kind of goes in this deck and nothing else, or it's draft chaff. But this guy kind of goes in aristocrats decks, right?
Sure.
So you've got your you've got your Zulaport Cutthroat and Blood Artist, and at 2 you got Death Greeter at 1.
Yeah.
When a creature dies, target player loses 1 life or something. At 3 you've got that new guy that deals damage. He's a vampire, I think.
Yeah,
At
sure.
4 you got Falconwrath Noble. At 6 you got this guy, cast him, and then everybody just loses a whole bunch of life.
It's good.
Yeah, I don't mind this one.
And you can follow him up with a Massacre Worm. He's pretty good too.
Oh yeah, Massacre Worm at 6 as well, and then you just like get all the life. Yeah.
It's excellent. So Netherborn Phalanx, he's 30.
You could transmute this guy for Massacre Worm.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You don't even need him. Yeah, this guy's good.
Yeah. So he's 38 American cents. That's about $18 Canadian. If you want to do the foil, there isn't a huge foil multiplier on him. You can find him now for $250. So I guess that's technically what, like a 80% jump or something?
No, it's definitely like a
800%.
400% jump.
It's like an 800% jump. But still, the point is he only costs $250 American, $78.50 Canadian. Good card.
Yeah, the dual deck and the Ravnica printings of him both have the same art from like 2007 or whatever, so it doesn't really look like Magic art looks now, which I appreciate as well.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. It looks like a bunch of Zerg from StarCraft. That's what that is.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
So that's it. Now, milk list.
Everybody loves the milk list.
I think that we're going to have a pretty good milk list too.
I concur.
So as per EDHREC.com, this is the most popular cards at each converted mana cost. In Rakdos, or as the kids say,
cycling?
Okay, at the 0 drop slot. Endless one.
No.
No, that's Expel. That's funny.
That's from Rakdos that I gave you today.
Yes,
that's why he's in there.
That's 100%. That's right. Okay, 1 drop slot. Sol Ring. I'm playing it, but we don't count it.
Yeah, we don't count those anymore.
Vandal Bee. Vandal Blast.
Nope.
No, but it's always good.
Dilutes the cycling pool.
Yeah.
Cut it.
You know what? I could add those Faithless Looting.
It's fine.
Because you discard 2 cards after you cast it.
It's on the milk list. Cut it.
I'm not playing it anyways.
Good.
But it is good.
Not
Okay.
good enough.
Rakdos Signet at 2.
No.
No, I think that one was on the EDH rec page, and I was like, no, I'll play.
Put the key rune instead.
Yeah, something. 4 drop. Diabolic Tutor.
No. You forgot the 3 drop.
Chaos Warp.
You're not playing it.
No. Mind you, I could.
Nah.
Oh, no, because it doesn't kill. It puts it on the bottom of the library. Okay.
Yeah, not good enough.
5 drop. Palace Siege.
Nope.
Sire of Insanity at 6.
Nope.
That'd probably be okay because it makes me discard my hand. Karavik the Merciless at 7.
Nope.
Decree of Pain at 8.
Nope.
Maybe it should be in there, though. Blasphemous Act at 9.
Nope.
Desolation Twin at 10.
Nope.
Pathrazor of Uli at 11.
Nope.
That's from Rakdos as well. So is Desolation Twin. It the Betrays at 12.
Nope.
Emrakul the Promised Land at 13.
Nope.
1 Milkless Match.
Nice.
That is a good one. I knew it was going to be a good one.
What was it? That's if you count Sol Ring. You're not counting Sol Ring. I don't think there's any, was there? There's no milkless matches.
Oh, I was counting Sol Ring.
Yeah, there's no milkless matches, dude.
I'm the greatest Magic player in the world. Getting that tattooed on my back. Okay, now Spice Calculator.
Spice Calculator.
Now, we cut that Razaketh's right. We're going to add whatever.
Sure, yeah.
Whatever.
We'll cut it to, that's Decree of Pain. There's your Decree of Pain.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. And that's our 1 milkless match.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't get that tattoo now. Whew, good thing. Now the Spice Calculator.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 22nd all-time on the Rakdos page on EDHREC.com.
Puts her just below Judith, the Scourge Diva, and right above
new
Dragon Lord Kolaghan.
Good if you're playing Rakdos Dragon Tribal.
Which I guess you could do.
You just play 5-color Dragon Tribal. It's way better. Yeah. The top end of that deck's way higher. Okay, 66 lists total. And again, patron suggestion, so thank you for that. It actually turned out to be an excellent thought experiment for myself, so much so that I want to build it.
There you go. That's the mark of any successful thought experiment.
I think so. In Commandy, anyways, I think especially because we've built so many decks.
Yeah.
Right? The benchmark for like building something in paper now in real life
is much higher.
Is pretty high, and I kind of want to build this, even just to play it once. I have most of the cards, draft chaff. I've got the stuff that I talked about for like souping it up. And if I didn't have anything, it cost me like, what, $3 to finish out the deck?
Yeah.
Okay. Average CMC, I don't think matters.
No.
But it's 3.65.
Which isn't bad.
So even if it did matter,
it's still pretty good.
The average CMC is 2 colorless. Critical turn, I don't know if you can pop off like 10 cyclers in the first 4 turns and then you cast Garna. I don't know. Whatever.
It's a slow deck, I think.
I think so too. You got to have lots of mana before you can chain anything together. 2 tutors, uniqueness rating. So cards different than EDHREC.com main page for Garna. 44 different cards.
Excellent.
That's like all of them.
That's lots of them. Yes, that's very good.
Yeah, so you punch it all into the Spice Calculator, even with 2 tutors. I'm sitting at 51.5.
Nice.
Yeah, and that is your Netherborn Phalanx or whatever it's called.
Yep.
And your Final Parting.
Excellent.
Yeah, now if you cut the Final Parting because you just don't own one, or you don't think it's as powerful as I think it is, it's really powerful. If you cut it, 64 spicy. That's getting pretty good.
That's also pretty good.
Yeah. I love it.
I like it too. It's cool.
Before we get into final thoughts of the day, if we haven't already covered your final thoughts in the strengths and weaknesses section, I wanted to mention real quick on CommanderCookout.com. I've got an MTG Wellness article coming out in the next week or two. It'll be part of this arc that's coming out, so watch for that if you like those. We've had some feedback. We've got another Candid Commander video coming out for the YouTube channel. People have liked those as well.
That's cool. I like that.
I like those because those are just so us, right? Like it's 100% us ignoring the camera and just talking Commandy.
Yeah.
And to each other, not to CCO Nation, to each other.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome.
Yeah. Sorry for excluding you guys for a minute, but you still get the look.
Yeah. That being said, contest rundown, final thoughts of the day. What do you think?
Check out Commander's Brew. They got a new Battle of the Brews thing coming out on their YouTube channel on April 4th.
Correct.
So check that out for sure. They have been generous enough to allow us to give away one of the decks that they built on their show. It's an Legend Who Smiles at Death artifact recursion list. It's very, very cool. You can listen to it on one of their episodes.
162.
That's the one. Tell them CCO sends them a great big FU, or follow us, help us expand the show on any of our social media platforms. You can get entered in to win that deck for sure. As for final thoughts of the day, as much as I did kind of rag on it in the strengths and weaknesses section, this is a very old school Commander deck, which I super duper like because it's taking an idea and a bunch of cards and a mechanic that isn't really seen or isn't really focused on anymore, and it brings it to the forefront and actually builds a really fun, powerful, interesting deck. And it costs $1.50. So go out, ask for the cards at your game store. They'll give them to you for free because they're just taking up square footage that could be taken up with, I don't know, dust or empty sleeves or the sliced off top of a booster box. And they'll just give you the cards to make space for that stuff. And thank you for the experience. Hey, coming up, listen to us tomorrow on our super cool bonus episode. It was a good one. And then we'll be back next week for the 4th installment of the Arc of the Lovable Losers right here on Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song! Plop, 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 meth.
Meth, dude.